Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. And I'm here today to talk to you about Goosebumps Night of the Living Dummy 2. This one was the first one to be televised on Fox Kids. They never made a Night of the Living Dummy for some bizarre reason. However, when it comes to the Night of the Living Dummy 2, that's a book I actually own from Goosebumps. I'm not sure if it was my first or second one because this friend of mine is in middle school, the one who got the entire classroom hooked on it. So, yeah. Night of the Living Dummy 2, Slappy. Like I said before, Slappy is one of my all-time faves. Actually, I haven't even uploaded that video yet. I might upload this one first. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so this story entails a girl named Amy. And she's like the middle child. And her family is having like what they normally do. Like kind of like show and tell. Family night. The oldest daughter, Sarah, she has like a painting that's not ready yet. The youngest child, he has like videos that he spotted on his family, kind of like home video type things. And Amy, she has a ventriloquist dummy named Dennis. But when she tries to do her act, Dennis' head pops off because he's very old and raggedy. And she complains that she wants like a new one. And so her dad ends up giving her one, Slappy. But when Jed, the brother, decided to show his video, he shows that Amy tried on Sarah's blouse without her permission, which pisses her off. So, yeah, it's the tension between the two sisters. So, when Amy takes out a card that is inside Slappy's pocket, it's a weird incarnation, so she reads it. That's the spell that links, or actually brings Slappy to life. So, like, pretty much throughout the beginning half of this episode, we see Amy and we see her with Slappy, and she's like playing around with him, trying to do her act. And when she's doing it for another like show and tell type thing with the family, Slappy comes alive and pretends to be her talking, insults the entire family. See, Slappy thing is he's a deranged dog that loves to pull pranks, loves to insult people, very Chucky like. And if given the chance, he will hurt you and stuff like that. And he's a very evil doll. Now, so when she's insulted, when he's insulting the entire family, they get upset. They don't like her attitude, stuff like that. At some point in time at night, Chucky comes to life and he goes into like the room of Sarah and he sees her painting. He takes a red paintbrush and he just, well, it's revealed the next day, he drew on it stick figure people. She's outraged. It was a beautiful painting before he messed it up. So they think, so when they think like, you know, Amy did it. So she goes and she talks to not Chucky, but Slappy, just like regular talking. She don't know he's alive, right? And she noticed there's red paint on his fingers. So she's starting to kind of suspect some stuff, you know? And so like, when she's in her room, she's hanging out with her friend Margot and Margot's sister. I think the sister name is Alice or something like, yeah, Alicia. That's it, Alicia. And so, what's the name? Amy is starting to now suspect that Chucky is alive. I think at one point in time, he like pinched her finger or pinched her sister finger, or something like that. And so when they're playing, they're complaining about like younger and older siblings and why it sucks to be the middle child and stuff like that. Margot is played by Shannon Duff's sister, who was in the famous Jet Jackson. And so Alicia decides to go play with Slappy because he was in the closet. And Amy is like, no, you can't touch that and stuff like that. And she's all like, why? But he told me he was stuffy in the closet. So then he starts like grabbing and hurting, like pinching Alicia and everything. But that's when Amy was near Alicia. So Margot thinks Alicia was pinching her sister. This causes tension between the two, and they stop being friends. When Amy tries to talk to her near like the bus stop, Margot just walks away with some group of friends. But in her hand is Slappy. She decides she's gonna get rid of him once and for all. And she throws him down the drain. So he starts to talk to her as he's going down the drain, but she doesn't really hear him. So that late on at night, she comes home and Sarah's there mopping up the floor, and Sarah tells her, "Tell Jed to wipe his dirty feet." Slappy got to the house before Amy did, and it was his footprints that was in mud. And this is where all the craziness happens. Slappy comes alive and starts terrorizing the family. And every room they go in, no matter what, he's always there before them. He's on the ceiling, he's on the chandeliers, he's on the dresser, he's on the floor, he's walking towards them. And so, like, he tells her, you brought me to life when you said the magic words and everything. And now we're together forever. And he's gonna do like all kind of bad stuff to her. So the girls are like freaking out. Then all of a sudden, somebody pushes Slappy into like the fire place, and his head cracks and busts open, and then you see his green spirit fly away. So then later on, as they're talking with the family, talking about like what happened and stuff, and they thank Jed for saving them. He's all like, "I didn't do anything." Then they're like, "Well, if it wasn't you, who was it?" Then all of a sudden, you see Dennis, the old ventriloquist dummy, standing up, talking, and he talks in a very goofish manner and stuff. So they're like, "Holy crap, Dennis is alive." Even though this one isn't as spooky or scary as some of the other ones, it's still very, very good. Now, just like with all Goosebumps stuff, it's different from the books. In the book, Slappy pranks are much, much different. Um, Margot and Amy, they don't stop being friends. Instead of them playing, instead of Alicia being at Amy's place, she was actually at her birthday party. Let's see. Jet actually gets into some of the action when they were trying to like trap Chucky and stuff. Not Chucky, Slappy and stuff. Um, Jed, he had dressed up in a dress. I guess pretending to be like Dennis or something like that. And the parents were hiding in the closet. And so, like, instead of the green spirit coming out of like Chuck, no, I keep saying Chuck, I keep thinking Chucky the doll, Slappy the doll. Instead of that green spirit, it's actually worms and stuff. R.O.L. Stein went all the worm route, man. I do like the spirit thing a whole lot better though. That wasn't that spooky. All right, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.